Hello, dear ones. We are Laarkmaa, and we are here to support you on your evolutionary journey. Today, we're going to talk to you about what the ascension process looks like. First of all, many of you asked the question, am I going to ascend? And our answer to that is, you are already ascending. For ascension is a process, not something that happens in one energetic particular moment. You're in the energetic process of ascension now. So the next question you might ask is, well, how do I know? What signs do I look for? We're going to give you 7 signs that you can notice in your own reality to let you know that you are in the ascension process. The first one is your sense that time is speeding up. Now, this has been going on for a number of years, and you've talked about it, but we don't feel you have ever really connected it with the fact that it is part of the ascension process. It is time that keeps you stuck here in the 3rd dimension. Time is part of the illusion. In fact, time is what contains you within the illusion. As you have a sense of time speeding up, you're actually shaking off the bounds of time as you move into a larger awareness of consciousness and who you truly are. So the first sign of ascension is that time is speeding up. The second sign of ascension is that you may be losing your balance, bumping into things, getting dizzy. This is, from our perspective, a sign of ascension that indicates you are detaching from your physical presence on Earth. The Earth is changing in her orbit and in her spin, and you are changing with her. As the Earth moves and ascends towards becoming fully the new Earth, you also, in your ascension process, begin to detach from the old Earth and move into the energetic form of the new Earth. And you experience this because you are still here in duality also. You experience this as a sense of being dizzy, off balance, not knowing where your arms and your feet may be, and bumping into things, all manner of things that surprise you because you've never done that before. So this is the second sign that you're in the ascension process. The third sign of the ascension process is that your relationships begin to change. You may be surprised to find best friends falling away. You no longer have common interests, or topics of conversations with your regular coffee group don't seem to interest you anymore, and you feel somewhat out of alignment with the group that you're accustomed to meeting with. In whatever form it takes for you, on the ascension path, you will find that all of your relationships are changing. You may be drawn to people you never thought you would ever like or felt connected to before, while people you thought would be best friends forever are falling away, and it just doesn't seem to matter, except that it is somewhat puzzling. This is an energetic alignment showing you that you are on the ascension path and you are in the process of ascending exactly on course, exactly as you need to. So the third sign of the ascension process is that your relationships are changing, some intensifying and some falling away, but all moving you towards a more harmonious spiritual group of relationships. The fourth sign of ascension is a lack of interest in things that always used to interest you. You may be losing your interest in reading, or you may not be checking certain sites of news as much as you used to, or certain conversations just bore you now. In other words, what used to capture your interest and keep you engaged in the world, here in the illusion of 3D, becomes less interesting to you. You are, in fact, detaching more from the illusion. So this lack of interest in things that have always been interesting to you before is not a sign of something wrong with you or that you are dying. It is actually a sign that you are ascending and you're beginning to turn your focus more inwards and to higher realms where you are connected more to things that truly matter, things that truly spark your interest. So this is the fourth sign of the ascension process. The fifth sign of the ascension process comes in your emotional toolkit. We have told you many times that emotions are your tools or your signpost to show you how you yourself are out of balance. Here's what we notice in the process of ascension. You may have one of the biggest emotional releases you've ever had in your life and not understand why you reacted in such a vehement, loud, or reactive way. Or you may find that emotions that have been stuffed inside of you for many lifetimes suddenly come burbling to the surface, and you cry at movies or when you see a dog laughing and running with its master. There are many, many things that can bring your emotions to the surface, and this is part of the purging process that lightens your entire energetic form so that you ascend in the way that you are intended to. The secondary part of this particular step, this particular part of ascension, is that you also begin to realize that your emotional attachment to your personality simply doesn't matter. What you feel about something, and you think you have a right to be angry, sad, jealous, whatever it may be, whatever emotion that is that's attached to your emotionality and your personality, all of a sudden becomes unimportant. You realize in a very quick flash that whatever was starting to raise its head as an emotion simply isn't important. It doesn't matter. And you move to a consciousness that is not needing your emotions to guide it. You're being guided by your intuition and your connection to higher awareness. So this fifth step has to do with detachment from the need for your emotional signposts through a recognition that your intuition is guiding you and how to respond moment by moment. That is the fifth sign of ascension. The sixth sign of the process of ascension, so that you know you are ascending, is an increase in your intuitive awareness. You will find synchronicities happening more often in your life. You will find your intuition is governing what you do throughout the day. You may not be able to rationally explain it, but you know to do it. You may not be able to rationally explain it, but you know to be it. In other words, your intuition is guiding your path rather than your thought processes and mental attachments to your routines, your beliefs, and your daily activities. It is the intuition that is now leading your way. Along with the heightened intuition, you may have a more activated visionary state where suddenly you see people who are transitioning and you connect with them and you can see, know, and understand that death is only one aspect of people changing conscious forms or energetic forms. The ascension process itself allows you to move out of the physical form into your rainbow body form moment by moment as you follow these steps we have given you until you become no longer attached only to this three-dimensional physical form. So you may have visions, you may have dreams, you may have a knowing that comes to you at any time during night or day. And this intuition and synchronistic heightening of awareness also allows you to see lights that you have not seen before, feel presences that you have been unaware of previously, and hear sounds that have been out of your normal sound range previously. So all of these increased abilities are the sixth sign that you are on the ascension path. Now, all of these things we've talked about in these six signs of the ascension process do have a physiological effect on your beingness here in the third dimension. So for the seventh sign that you are ascending, we'll point to the physiological things you probably are experiencing. For the first thing, your sleep is completely disrupted. There may be nights when you do not sleep at all, nights when you awaken after 2 hours, nights when you sleep for a few hours, go back to awakeness, sleep for a few more hours, and awaken again. Your sleep pattern is disrupted because you are outside of the bounds of time, meaning you are no longer attached to the circadian rhythms of your earth. This is why we tell you in the ascension process, you must rest when you are tired. It does not matter if it is day or night. When your body says sleep or rest or meditate, that is the time for you to just be. Remember, you're moving into a state of beingness rather than a state of doingness, and this takes a major bit of change for you. You also may be feeling digestive disruption. Sometimes you're not hungry at all. Sometimes you eat and you wonder why. Sometimes you're starving and can't get enough to eat, or you may be hungry immediately after you ate a full meal, or you may not be hungry for 2 or 3 days. Your physiological form is moving towards the nourishment that comes from light. And yet, while you are still in physical form, in the third dimension, you still need healthy, energy-filled foods to support that aspect of your being. This is why we have created the Ascension Diet, which you can find in our book, Pleiadian Manual for Accelerated Evolution and Ascension. While we will not go into what will help you ascend in your diet now, for you can find that in our book, we will tell you that a general pattern of hydrating yourself with lots of water, because you are water beings, eating fruit which is charged with energy from the sun, first thing in the day with nothing else, and then eating fresh vegetables, preferably raw, or if you cannot handle that, steamed, later in the afternoon, are the lighter foods that will help support this process. You will find other suggestions in our book. So one of the physical things in this 7th sign is your digestive is changing. Remember, you are a carbon-based form here in your human body, but you are also 97, 98, 96, whatever your individual percentage is, water. And that water is fluid, and that water is what is helping you to change, transition into your crystalline light body as more light pours into each of your cells. You may also find that you are itching or having strange eruptions on your body as toxins from emotions, foods, chemical toxins in the environment, or whatever else may have been entering your system as poison is coming out of you. The light comes in, it pushes the toxins out. So you will have eruptions all over your skin, and some of them may itch and some of them may be uncomfortable, but it is temporary. Remember, it is important to bathe yourself in fresh water as you go through this ascension process, for the water on your skin helps to release the things that have been coming out of your skin. You may be having swelling as your body tries to acclimate to more light and has a need to acclimate more to a balancing between the alkaline and acidic forms that are present between being a carbon-based form and a light body-based form, which is crystalline. This need to balance that alkalinity may cause you to have some swelling. Notice what you are doing that may indicate swelling and how you may relieve it, drink more water, and pay attention to what you eat and drink that causes more alkalinity or more acidity. You should be balanced in that, neither too acidic nor too alkaline at any given time as you move through this process. Most of you are feeling aches and pains and physical discomforts that come either from old injuries or new places that have sprung up in your body that ache, especially joints, tendons, connective tissue. All of that will be particularly fragile and feeling achy and painful at this time of transition. For these are the support systems that have kept you in a carbon-based form. So you will indeed feel this, but this is not forever. This is a transitory process. Many of you may feel that you simply ache all over because your whole body is involved in the ascension process, and the integration is tremendous. Above all, the physical symptom that most of you feel the strongest is a sense of extreme, debilitating fatigue. That's how you perceive it. But we would say it is not debilitating at all. It is taking you out of being a human doing into a human being, which is what you're intended to be. As you move more into heightened awareness and consciousness, you move into a more aligned state with the sun that is bringing in more light, more alignment with your intended liquid crystalline form. And this requires moving out of physical doingness, moving out of mental thinking, and moving into simple energy of just being. So we encourage you to be, for this is what you are. You are a human being. Your species has never understood the label of human being before, and it's time you awakened the meaning of those words. You're not here to do. Your beingness, as you increase your light, is what carries you through the path of ascension and is also what fulfills your contract to be of service. For the more you are the light of love, the more your service of your light radiates out into the world. You complete your contract and you fully ascend into the pathway that you have chosen. These, we remind you, are the 7 paths of ascension to let you know, to check in, to reassure you that you are indeed on the path of ascension. So you can stop being afraid that you will be left behind. You can stop being afraid that you won't make it. You can stop being afraid that you're doing something wrong. If you are following all the steps we have given you in the 3 books we have written, Conversations with Laarkmaa, Remembering Who We Are, and the Pleiadian Manual for Accelerated Evolution and Ascension, if you follow all the gems of Pleiadian wisdom there, following the guidance, taking it into your heart, and do your checklist with the signs for ascension we have given you here, so that you know you are indeed ascending with these signs of ascension, then indeed you can completely surrender into love, trust, joy, and compassion, for you are a being of love and light. We love you. Good always.